Caitlyn Clark has finally made her much-awaited debut on the New Heights podcast, as Jason Kelsey revealed that she's the most requested guest in the history of our show. The point guard for Indiana Fever has had a stellar debut season in the WNBA, winning the Rookie of the Year title and smashing numerous records along the way. Clark holds the record for the highest number of assists in a single season, the most points scored by a rookie, and the quickest player to 100 three-pointers in the league's history. Her rapid climb from successful college basketball star to Time magazine's Athlete of the Year at just 22 years old symbolizes her relentless pursuit of greatness. Clark's eagerly awaited appearance on New Heights saw NFL legends Jason and Travis Kelce express their delight over her presence on the podcast. While introducing her, Jason acknowledged the high demand from listeners for her appearance as he recited a list of her recent achievements. The former Philadelphia Eagles star said, "Alrighty, our guest today is a 6-foot guard from the University of Iowa. The NCAA all-time Division I scoring leader, the first pick of the WNBA draft, WNBA assist leader, All-Star, and 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year. She's the most requested guest in the history of our show and the Time magazine Athlete of the Year, Miss Caitlyn Clark." Clark revealed that few things get her excited in life, but the podcast is one of them, saying it's at the top of my list. This left Travis amused as he replied, "We made it, Jason." As the most requested guest on New Heights, Clark joins a stellar lineup of previous guests, including NFL legends Rob Gronkowski, Shannon Sharpe, Patrick Mahomes, and Hollywood stars like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Clark also confessed that she's a loyal Kansas City Chiefs Kingdom member and counts Mahomes and Kelce among her favorite players from the current Super Bowl winning team. The 22-year-old said, "My dad was a big Chiefs fan growing up, so people think I'm just a bandwagon fan. But I'm like, no, we were fans before Patrick and Travis. We were diehard, so all the success you've had has made it really enjoyable for us." Caitlyn Clark gave a 2-word assessment of her 2024 which sums up the WNBA sensation's incredible year. The WNBA Rookie of the Year enjoyed a record-breaking debut campaign in the league with her impact being felt both on and off the court. Clark has been integral in the growth of women's basketball and sports in general and has seen her contribution acknowledged by a number of prestigious awards as well as her league rookie recognition. The Indiana Fever sensation was also named as an All-Star and All-WNBA first-team selection. Her awards off the court saw her named AP Female Athlete of the Year and Time Athlete of the Year while also being included in Forbes' The World's 100 Most Powerful Women for 2024. Clark reflected on an incredible year in the first New Heights podcast of 2025 with Jason and Travis Kelce. Asked how she would sum up 2024, Clark replied, "I would say life-changing. All in a good way. Things just change really fast, as you guys know. That is how the world works. Especially with social media, people see a lot of your life and that is what makes it fun. That is why I have had so many opportunities." Reflecting on her life 12 months ago when she was preparing to leave Iowa and enter the league, Clark continued, "It is crazy looking back a year ago to today. I was just beginning my senior year. People knew who I was and attended our games but not to the magnitude they do now. That is what makes it cool. I started a new chapter in my life moving to Indianapolis too. It's no secret by now that Indiana Fever superstar Caitlyn Clark is a generational talent both on the court and when it comes to attracting attention. This is proven by the unprecedented TV ratings that Clark drew not only during her first WNBA season with the Fever but also during the final season of her college career at the University of Iowa. In fact, Clark and the Hawkeyes' 2024 NCAA National Championship game defeat to Dawn Staley's South Carolina Gamecocks drew a bigger audience, 18.9 million viewers, than any WNBA game this year. But it wasn't just the WNBA that Clark's final Iowa game outperformed in terms of TV ratings. In a January 3 article, Sportico's Anthony Krupe revealed that the 2024 NCAA Women's Basketball National Championship drew a bigger broadcast audience than any other sport aside from football. Other highlights include South Carolina's 87-75 victory over Caitlyn Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes in the Women's National Championship game, a big draw that also happened to be the only college basketball entry for 2024, Krupe wrote. This game came in at number 76 in the top 100 broadcasts of 2024. Only football, both NFL and college, with the vast majority being NFL, political programming, the Thanksgiving Day Parade, and the Academy Awards performed better than Clark's Iowa finale, as conveyed by a nifty graphic that Sportico posted on X January 3rd. It will be interesting to see if any of Clark's future games can compete with the 2024 NCAA title contest. We imagine that if her Fever team played Angel Reese's Chicago Sky squad in some future WNBA finals, it would have a good chance. Because of his close relationship with Chicago Sky's star Angel Reese, it may have taken NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal a little bit longer to warm up to Indiana Fever star Caitlyn Clark. Most fans, and several media pundits, spent the better part of the 2024 WNBA season pitting Reese and Clark against each other as they competed head-to-head for the WNBA Rookie of the Year award, ultimately won by Clark, and they stoked the fires of a rivalry both players downplayed as having any merit. So it wasn't until September, with the WNBA regular season approaching an end, that O'Neal had a change of heart and gave Clark glowing reviews in an interview with Sports Illustrated. "Clark does everything right," O'Neal stated at the time. "I never spoke about her before because Angel is my girl, but I can truthfully say Caitlyn Clark is for real. I'm watching her play and I'm trying to be upset, but she makes the right pass, makes the right play. Girls try to beat her up and she doesn't really complain. She's a great one, even early on. She's the real deal. Much respect to her and her family and the way she grew up and the way she plays." Reese's rookie season fizzled out after she suffered a wrist injury that ended her year early, and Clark's star was on the rise even more as she ran away with the Roddy Award. Clark built quite the resume in her first season as a pro, which culminated with her being named Female Athlete of the Year by the Associated Press and Time Magazine's 2024 Athlete of the Year. During a recent interview with TMZ, O'Neal was asked about Clark receiving such a high honor from Time Magazine, to which he gave a slight nod of approval. "Congratulations to her, she's a fabulous player," O'Neal said. O'Neal quickly shifted gears and praised some of the WNBA's other top players for playing integral parts in the league's surge in popularity in 2024. "Caitlyn, and my girl Angel definitely brought a lot of publicity to the WNBA," O'Neal added. "But we can't forget about all the other WNBA greats. Asia, Wilson, Sabrina, Ionescu, Diana, Taurasi, all the women that's playing great. They're finally getting the credit they deserve." Caitlyn Clark has hit back at NFL fans who've accused her of jumping on the bandwagon with her support of the Kansas City Chiefs, by pointing out she's been a fan since childhood. The 22-year-old Indiana Fever star was introduced to the Chiefs by her dad and was a fan long before Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes put them on the map. Speaking on the New Heights podcast, Clark told hosts Jason and Travis Kelce, "I'm sorry Jason, I'm a Midwest kid. So, there's this picture that's been circulating from a couple of years ago when I was on Peyton and Eli's Monday night show where I'm in a full Chiefs outfit. I have family in Kansas City and I grew up in Des Moines, Iowa, which is only 3 hours away from Kansas City. So, that's just the closest NFL team. My dad was a big Chiefs fan growing up, so people think I'm like a bandwagon Chiefs fan. I'm like, no, I was there before Patrick and Travis, we were ride or die, so we've been big fans, and now obviously all the success you guys have had has made it a lot of fun for us." Putting Clark to the test, Travis asked her to name her favorite player from her youth, and the WNBA ace was quick to name ex-tight end Tony Gonzalez. She said, "We would go to like one game a year growing up with my cousins down in Kansas City, and we still try to go. We went to the Christmas Day game last year. I think the year before you might have played on Christmas Eve maybe. We went to that and we were sitting outside for that. My toes were like about to fall off, my fingers were about to fall off. I don't get how you guys play in that type of weather, but it's fun." The Butler Bulldogs are not having the best of time as a team that started off pretty well this season. They are currently fighting to stay afloat as they have barely managed to skip past the very end of the table. And fans are blaming a certain absence from the courtside because of all the mishaps. Assistant coach Connor McCaffrey's girlfriend, WNBA star Caitlyn Clark, missing from the Bulldogs side, has not been missed by the fans. Fans of the Butler Bulldogs are not just fans of the team, they also are a fan of the team's certain lucky charm. Indiana Fever's guard and WNBA star Caitlyn Clark is currently dating the Bulldogs' assistant coach, Connor McCaffrey, and is a consistent appearance at games. And many fans think her presence at the games work as good luck for the team. Clark missed attending a Bulldogs game against Houston on December 7, 2024. Unfortunately, this coincided with the Bulldogs' 5-game losing streak. And they have yet to fully recover from that. Their latest loss against Villanova, where the latter accomplished a 73-65 victory against the Bulldogs, has only managed to make the tension reach sky high. Fans think something that might have happened between McCaffrey and Clark was the reason behind her absence from the courtside. And this has led to the assistant coach facing some heat from the fans, who are not happy to see Clark missing a game for the Bulldogs. While this has no credibility in reality, it is a tale as old as time that sports, sporting fans, and superstitions go hand in hand. But it's not just McCaffrey or Clark's absence that has the fans bum-ating, as they are also questioning Thad Matta's coaching. The whole coaching staff, including McCaffrey of course, are under fire for the poor performance by the team. Hopefully, things take a turn and start to look up for the team and the coaching staff. Otherwise it's only going to get worse from here on. You can't hardly mention the WNBA anymore without touching on the topic of Caitlyn Clark and what she's doing with the Indiana Fever so far this season. Despite their winless record, Clark has been making headlines night in and night out as she continues to capture the eyes of the sporting nation and drive up viewership across the country. Of course, it's also helpful that Clark is routinely finding herself involved in plays that are worth talking about. Whether it's a logo three-pointer or a couple of minutes spent complaining to the referees, it hasn't been hard to find content in the Caitlyn Clark universe. On Wednesday night in the Fever's game against the Seattle Storm, it was what looked like a blatant and potentially dangerous foul from Clark that ended up going uncalled.